Hi folks, this is Jay. We are visiting a very beautiful garden in Lancaster, New York. This is Elaine's cottage garden, and we're with Elaine, the gardener here, with her helper. It's Hope, right?
Right.
Oh yeah. So Elaine owns the original Elaine's Flower Shop in Lancaster, New York.
Yes.
Yeah, and but we're taking a look at her own garden today. But this is a spectacular cottage garden. Yeah, can you say a quick hi to our viewer?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for giving me a chance to show off my garden.
Yeah, can we join you for a walk in your garden?
Why, certainly, I'd love it.
Yeah, so let's go this way.
Do you want to talk
Oh,
about
yes, before I
Right.
forget. So we're standing right under a magnificent maple here, which you planted
58 years ago from a helicopter.
from one single tiny helicopter.
Yeah, my daughter and I planted that. It was the only tree in this yard, and look at what happened.
Yes, exactly. It's just to provide the shade, and you place this tree so good, so it's away from the house, but it's still part of the garden, and they provide the shade,
Right.
and it's just so lovely. Yeah. So it is a very colorful garden here, and many of the color coming from the yellow would be a type of Rudbeckia, a black-eyed Susan, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you told me this is the
This was the perennial of the year in about 25 years ago, and I put one plant in, and of course they're very
one clump.
One
yeah.
clump, right? And they're very
Prolific.
invasive, I guess.
They're not invasive if you like
If
it.
you like
yeah,
them,
yeah.
right.
They're very, very prolific. Yeah, so they just
then
growing into such an impressive area, and they also self-seed, right?
They do. And in the spring, this is crocus and Solomon's seal.
Yeah.
So,
So you use the early blooming bulb to
Right.
really extend the season. Yeah, because the Rudbeckia will not come up maybe by until late June,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
right.
So you still have the 2 months of season that you can utilize bulb to provide color and interest in the garden.
and I love forget-me-nots. And this garden's also full of violets. I have 4 different colors of
yeah,
violets. So I have color all year.
Oh yeah,
all season.
definitely.
It's really nice.
Yeah. So you're babysitting your neighbor's
Tomato plants.
Well, you're such a kind person to babysit tomatoes. Yeah. Well, look at the combination of color in this area. This will be your color palette throughout the entire garden. You have the lantana, and what is the blue?
Abobulus.
Evabulus?
Abobulus.
Oh, okay.
Proven winners. They call it Blew My Mind.
Blew my mind.
Right.
That's an interesting name.
And I love blue flowers, and that's 4. I believe it's 4 little
Plugs,
pots that
yeah.
I put in there, and the way it filled out.
Yeah. And you have some very special zinnia.
Yes,
Right.
those are from a memorial for my friend that I fixed.
Oh yeah, they're just beautiful. I love the color combination. But what really stand out throughout your garden is the phlox. You have a lot of garden phlox throughout the season. Throughout the garden.
I say I have a love affair with phlox. And wherever the seeds drop, I let them grow. So they're growing in some weird places, but they're beautiful.
Well, that's the charm of a cottage garden. You let plants to be free, to come up wherever they like, and it just reduced workload for weeding. And so you have them very densely planted. It just kind of naturally suppress the weeds from coming up. Yeah.
This spot here in about 2 weeks will be filled with the autumn crocus. Which
Autumn.
they've multiplied, and they're just so beautiful.
Oh,
they
yes.
just all of a sudden they appear.
They are, and so it is another type of bulb you use to extend the season, to make it to really make your garden season into almost October, right?
Right, yeah.
Well, look at the display of color. So I always tell people you don't need 100 different colors in your garden, just a few. If you use them in the right way, they will create such a striking visual impact. So you see Elaine have the yellow, orange, purple, deep purple, and the blue. Well, that'll be the color palette throughout Elaine's garden. So this area is your cut
My
flower
cutting garden,
cutting
right.
garden. Yeah. So what
And
do you
this
have?
is all from seed. I love to plant seeds and watch them turn into beautiful zinnias. And the orange cosmos, I kind of goofed. I thought they were going to be tall. I should have read the,
Yeah. So you started all the zinnia from the seed.
right, and the cosmos and the nasturtiums.
The nasturtium. And nasturtium are very happy here and very healthy. Yeah. But one thing I noticed that is quite unique is this particular zinnia.
The zinnia is burpee seeds lime tequila.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And
It's-
the purple one is also burpees, an amethyst. I usually get purple prints, but I thought I'd try this. I love the lime green and purple and orange together.
Yes, this is a very unique shade of color for zinnias. And
This one is a Cinderella, but it's not performing like they usually do. They're supposed to be a little bit bigger, but still, I
it's
love
very
them.
nice. Well, look at the display of color here. They're just lovely. Yeah.
Look at my.
Oh, yeah. But this is a special nasturtium. It has the deep red flower and the darker leaves. It's quite interesting. It's the first time I've seen it like this. And they have a more vertical
Right,
shape.
I bought a mixed packet of seeds. I believe I got those from Burpee also. I bought some from Eden and some from Burpee.
Okay. Well, so your helper is here. It's okay. Yeah, okay, we'll give you attention. Yeah.
I have stones coming
Oh,
to
wow.
redo because the wood didn't hold up, especially
Yeah.
through this past winter.
Yeah, exactly.
I just love this purple.
Yeah, they're beautiful. So your garden actually goes all the way around your house. You wrap around the house.
Yes,
And the color is just amazing.
my limelight.
Oh yeah.
I like to cut those and give them away, and then I save some for
For dry flower?
myself and
Oh,
keep them going. You know, I dry them and have them in bouquets all winter.
yeah. Oh, they're lovely. So limelight is one of the larger variety of
Yes.
the Hydrangea paniculata. They start out, the bloom, the buzz start out lime green, and they change color throughout the season. They turn into a creamy white color, then maybe a little bit of a pink, like a blush, and then depending on the weather in the autumn, sometimes they turn into a deep red color. Yeah, but not always.
Oh, the trees.
Oh yes. The other thing I noticed in Elaine's backyard is you have more than a few magnificent redwood.
Yes, aren't they spectacular?
Oh yeah.
And
Can
when
we
I
look
think
closer?
my friend delivered those in the back of his pickup truck a few years ago, and now look at them. They're just,
So you planted just a few years ago.
yeah,
Wow.
probably 20,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
maybe
Wow.
15.
Yes. Well,
Look
look
at
at
that,
the
the
look at the
foliage.
leaf. Yeah. So the redwood, they are actually a type of conifer, but they are also deciduous, meaning they drop all of their leaf in autumn. So this is a deciduous conifer. The people always think conifer as like the spruce or pine, they're evergreen, but there are deciduous variety in the conifer family. So the dawn redwood would be one. Yeah. This is a magnificent tree. Yeah.
I love these
Yeah.
trees.
Beautiful. So we continue our garden visit at Elaine's cottage garden in Lancaster, New York. Just look at the display of color of the rudbeckia. Just so stunning. And it goes particularly well with the pink phlox. But you have more than a few variety of phlox, right?
Right, and they all planted themselves there.
Oh, it's lovely.
And this is filled with lily of the valley
Uh-huh.
in the spring.
Yeah.
A few tulips pop up that the deer haven't eaten.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
And my hollyhocks were gorgeous. They bloomed really early this year. They bloomed in June, which I
Wow.
was surprised. But I
Right.
think it's because of the brick. It
Yeah.
holds the heat.
It looks like you have, so those are the seed head, right? Mm-hmm. So those are the seed head from the hollyhock.
Right.
Well, hollyhock is one of those plants, they have a lot of seed. It tends to self-seed, but you really have to maybe even give them a little bit of a protection from the animals. So not only deer, the rabbits, as well as the beetles, they all love the hollyhock.
Yeah, the beetles especially.
That's fine,
Such
yeah.
a good girl.
Yeah. Well, so we are now returning to the front garden in Elaine's cottage garden. So there's something quite unique besides the flower here. I noticed a very unique looking bird bath. So tell us a little bit about this particular bird bath.
This
Elaine.
bird bath is over 100 years old. It was my mom and dad's. Actually, it was my mother's when she was a little girl. It was given to her by some people that owned a meat packing company in Buffalo, and they had a summer home in Lancaster. So it's gone from house to house. And after my dad died, I said, can I have the bird bath? And it has a special place in
It's
my
beautiful.
garden.
It's beautiful. And it just gives your garden a sense of maturity. It's something that is from a different century, right?
It's concrete, and you can't find anything like that.
Yeah, but it's a different concrete than
Yes.
we have
Right.
nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my treasure. And my dog, my
Yes,
dog
that's-
statue. I love German Shepherds.
Yeah, I can tell. Well, they guard your garden.
Yes, they guard my garden.
Look at the phlox. Let me pan the camera and let the viewer have a closer look. And they're fragrant
Oh,
too.
they are so fragrant.
Yeah. So I would describe the fragrance from phlox as floral, but with a hint of spiciness.
Almost like cloves, don't you think?
Yes, can I? Yeah. I want to show the viewer yeah.
This is one of the originals. Again, it started out with one plant. And I've shared this with many of my friends.
They're beautiful. Yeah. Well, do you have to protect your phlox from any animal, the deer, the
No,
rat?
actually, the deer do like to chomp on them before they even start to flower. But then it's like pruning, so then they just bloom a little bit later.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. Yeah, so the deer help you do a little bit of
They
pruning. Yeah, but once they started blooming, the deer usually stay away
They
from.
stay away,
Probably
yeah.
because of the fragrance.
I would think so.
Yeah. So let's take a look at this very, very beautiful garden area surrounding Elaine's front door. So it's like a little front patio, right? Like a patio area. Look at the color. You have different shades of pink, white, and even bicolored ones on the garden phlox. But you have more than just garden phlox. You have hydrangeas and other annuals. And also you have a lot of beautiful coleus.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have a love affair with coleus also.
Yeah. Well, look at this. So this is a topiary with ivy, right?
Oh, there's a story behind those also. Those are about probably 10 to 12 years old. They were at the flower shop and they weren't being taken care of. And I brought them home and I've kept them going all these years. I bring them out in the summer and then they have a special place in my bedroom and facing east. And I baby them all winter long. I bathe them if I see anything on. I bathe them in the sink.
Yeah.
And then this ivy plant is about 15 years old. And I've given so many cuttings of that to friends, and I've used it in corsages and boutonnieres. It's that tiny, tiny leaf that I don't think you can even get it anymore. I bought it at one of my favorite greenhouses. Look
I
at my.
see. Yeah, the coleus is so.
Aren't those coleus gorgeous? I love the lime green.
Yeah, oh, definitely. So, do you happen to remember the variety of the ivy you have?
No.
Okay, but so people think about topiary like boxwood or things you clip into a form, but with the ivy you just use a form. Like, so you have those like twigs or
Right,
vines.
almost like a grapevine.
Yeah.
And then it
with a
it-
center metal structure, and then you just gently train or guide the ivy climb
Right.
onto this form.
At the end of this season, it'll be coming over here. It's just.
It's beautiful.
It's my challenge because people usually can't keep ivy going. Well, first of all,
Yeah.
they don't like to be too wet. They like to be more on the dry side.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah. Okay. And you have some other very nice plants here. Let me pan the camera slowly
Yes.
so people don't get dizzy. So this would be a plant particularly attractive to the hummingbirds, right?
Yes, I sat here yesterday and the hummingbird was about 15 inches away from me. I can't remember the name of that plant.
So, I mean, is this the firecracker plant? Firecracker?
It could be.
Okay, yeah. But as you see, they have this tubular shape of flower. Yeah, and which just very, very attractive to the hummingbirds.
No, I guess I didn't save it.
Look at the view here. This is just stunning. Yeah. You also have
These
the
are the Mexican
sunflower.
zinnias,
Oh.
and then that one over there is called Persian carpet. And my dad always grew Persian carpets,
Oh,
and
I
I
see.
found that seed this year, so I got some, and they're going to be great for fall.
Oh, it's beautiful. And also you also have the morning glory.
My morning glories will
Yeah.
be blooming in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's just that they bloom later in season if you start them from seed in our climate. But they just provide a little bit of an extra for the late season interest. So again, we are visiting Elaine's cottage garden in Lancaster, New York, and we're with Elaine here. Well, thank you for sharing with us
Oh,
your
you're
beautiful
welcome.
cottage garden.